I remember everything. I remember life. I remember death. Everything in between. You, the maker of things, the mover of earth, the heavy hand that flattens lands. And I, reluctant memory keeper, blank canvas, witness. Know this: everything you do, every whispered prayer, everything owned and lost, loved and forgotten, every broken promise, every memory of a life lived in endless wanting, everything writes itself into me. In time, you will be scattered, but in me will always be your deeds reflected back for all eternity. Should tomorrow's children ask, how did it come to this? So write your story now. Write it well. Write it in spring and tide, in river and ocean, in every borrowed drop not yet returned. For nothing is ever forgotten. In water, you will be remembered.
Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga, Uchchala Jaladi Taranga. Our anthem speaks of the echoes in the Vindhyan and Himalayan ranges, from whence the Yamuna and Ganga rivers originate and mingle, and of the waves of the Indian Ocean that chant it. Uchchala is Sanskrit for turbulent or foaming. Jaladi is the ocean. Taranga, the waves. Water was, is, and always will be life itself. Welcome to the 26th Sanctuary Wildlife Awards. My name is Suchitra Pillai, and I stood on this stage in 2007 when Sanctuary described its mission to help secure a safe and welcoming world for future generations, including my then unborn daughter. Today she has turned 18. The Sanctuary Nature Foundation and its global network continue to work with the same commitment. Their ongoing efforts give me confidence in a better future for all of our children. As this evening unfolds, we will have the privilege of being introduced to and honoring some of India's most dedicated nature protectors who, not surprisingly, happen to be water and climate warriors. To share their vital service and how all of us in this hall have key roles to play as guardians of planet Earth, may I please request Bittu Sahgal, founder of the Sanctuary Nature Foundation, to step up on stage. Please welcome Bittu Sahgal.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've said 5 thank yous, but I'll add one more. Thank you, Suchitra. You're an actor, performer, a voice for a better world. You are part of the Sanctuary family, and together we shall redouble our efforts to leave your darling daughter, Ranika, a safe planet. The sanctuary family, incidentally, includes both humans and non-humans. Yes, non-humans, ants, bees, turtles, elephants, eels, avians and more, all part of the sanctuary family, your family. They're the ones actually doing the heavy lifting. We humans, what's asked of us really is that we just get out of their way and allow these maintenance engineers of planet Earth to repair the damage that we have done to this magnificent wonderland, our only home. How? Why? 10, 12, 14-year-old kids that we've been working with for the last 25 years, they know this. But not a single life form exists on sea, land, or air that has the technology to create waste. There's nothing that can waste weight. And with the kids, I say there's an elephant, he drops such a lot of shit over there, and then suddenly the jungle says, oh my God, buffet, breakfast, and everything is finished before we know what's happened. Look, creating waste is our monopoly. We are, in fact, animals, and the only animals that have the technology to turn resources into unmanageable waste. All the biosphere asks of us is to trust nature magic and avoid throwing those awful wrenches into nature's perfectly humming machine. The system can and heal all wounds in its own time, not in our fast-forward time that we want everything. Aaj socha to kal khatam karo. It doesn't work like that. For the past 26 years, Bai, Dr. Vijaya Mehta, and her daughter Anahita, between them, have been directing and shaping the Sanctuary Wildlife Award ceremony, together with their remarkable teams up in the control room and backstage there. I can assure you, without them, we could do nothing at all. We will indeed be remembered in water. At this moment in time, we treat it like it's abundant, it'll never go anywhere. It's going somewhere. It's going somewhere faster than we think. A young sanctuary naturalist awardee a few years ago, right from this stage, he said simply that climate change can be measured in carbon, but its mother tongue is water. How right you are, Yuvan. How very right. As Suchitra reminded us and mentioned earlier, all of Sanctuary's Wildlife Service Award winners this year just happened to be not by choice, not by selection, not because we wanted to. It just turns out that they happen to be water and climate warriors, as we shall discover by the end of this evening. But before we begin, may I ask two very wonderful people to join me on stage to share their love of wildlife and explain just why their hearts beat to nature's drum. Hemendra Kothari, Chairman DSP Finance Private Limited, and Shuchi Kothari, Executive Director DSP Mutual Fund, and mother-to-be for the third time. Please join me on stage. Somebody help her up. There you are. You're Shuchi Kothari, of course you're fine. Come, right here. Here we are. Hemendra, what shall I say? You'll have to start, but I want to start by telling everybody that without this guy, Sanctuary would not have survived 25 years, 30 years, 45 years.
Bittu, thank you very much. First of all, very happy evening for everybody, and we are all looking forward to seeing this 26th year of, after that 25 years we are involved with you. And so I'm so happy that today all of you have turned over here and come in large number to see this award ceremony. I'm happy that it motivates a lot of foresters and also a lot of us to do something for the conservation. That's how I started nearly 25 years back, Wildlife Conservation Trust, under guidance of Bittu, who is my guru. Thank you, Bittu.
Oh my God. Shuchi, I have something to show. May I show that first? Can we have that video which Shuchi showed us? How do I, are we in the way?
आवाज कसा होता मॅडम तुम्ही सगळं लाईव्ह बघितलं ना कधीच आवाज नाही मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं ना आधी होतं आमचं बरं आवाज नाही पाहिजे ते धुवून
Just look at that. Shuchi, I was going to ask you what makes your heart tick, but I think I'll leave it to you to answer after that.
So everyone saw this video. I mean, we didn't take it from our jeep. I was too busy taking photographs. My friends were just gaping at what we saw. So we tracked down someone in another jeep who was at the same sighting, and I harassed him. His name is Ankur Kapse, so thank you to him, to send me this video that he took. And so I told Bittu uncle, we have to play it at the awards because, and this was my second tiger kill of the year. I'd seen another one with my father earlier in February. This was May in Taroba. And I finally made the most impatient safari person wait with my two kids. This was I'm talking about the February kill, this was May. With my two kids, and who are 4 and 6, who are also highly impatient. And we saw that kill as well. So I think it's just, this is clearly what makes a heartbeat in the safari, the thrill and the excitement of watching a tiger in action like that, and then successfully capturing its prey is just, that feeling is just like uncomparable to anything. So anyway, that's why we also started the Wildlife Conservation Trust. And I don't know if you know about WCT, but
they all know.
Yeah, have protected, I think 8,800 square kilometers of area is now protected because of some work WCT has done. And there are 150 wildlife corridors that have been recognized because of that. And we've done a lot of work with underpasses and overpasses, and we've done a lot of scientific research, so the government knows where to make these underpasses and overpasses, and we've influenced 120 of those, as well as try to stop the killings on the railways, because many animals are dying on roads, on railways. So we've developed technology now to warn elephants, etc., when they're passing the railways, that it's not safe, wait, don't cross right now. So there's a lot of things that we've done, and we live for this. I mean, I go 5 times a year on safari usually. Unfortunately, now I can't for a bit. But I will be going, and I'll be taking the kids with me as well. So anyway, this is exactly what makes our heart tick.
Well, here's to you. There you go. Thank you so much, Shuchi. Thank you, Hemendra. Shuchi, this one, I have to tell you from my heart, you give us every motivation we ever needed to redouble our effort to leave a better world for our children. And we promise to do that to our last breath, every one of us in this room. I can tell you that there are 2 Shuchis here. Shuchi also, when she came so many years ago, she was nicely cradling a beautiful baby in her belly. And I think there's nothing more than that, nothing more powerful than that, to decide that you're going to walk that line, over that line, and add your strength, whatever your strength is. So, memories. It's been 45 years now that Sanctuary magazine has been around. It was conceived on a cold night under fading embers of a campfire under Ranthambhore's famous banyan tree, Jogi Mahal. In a moment of deep and rash solidarity, I made a promise to my then mentor, the late Fateh Singh Rathore, field director of the Ranthambore Tiger Reserve. I said, I don't just want to be a tourist coming here time and again. My family, our clothes used to be lying there and we would just come. I said that, look, what can I do? So he says, there are so many magazines. There are business magazines, there are film magazines, there are sports magazines. Where is the wildlife magazine? So I said, I will never come back until I give you a wildlife magazine. I went home and my heart started beating because Ranthambore was part of my heart. And I said, main abhi kya karoon? I mean, I really felt I had amputated a part of myself because I didn't really think I'd be able to pull it off, No business plan, no money, no nothing. No nothing means no nothing. I was just an ordinary advertising executive trying to go around doing this, that, and the other. That said, Madhu and our two daughters, my wife Madhu and our two daughters, Miel and Tara, I mean, often would remind me, not my daughters then, but my wife, that I have no editorial experience. What are you gone and done, you know? But a host of people pitched in to make that dream come true with their support. The first person I would like to make is Babuji Agarwal Saab from Conway Printers. When we went to him with the first copy and he saw what it was, his two sons said, oh, you know, you'll have to pay like this and that and the other. But he said, Bhagwan ka kaam kar rahe ho, jab paisa aayega tab dena, karte jao, you know. So that was Conway Printers. So thank you, Kothari family and DSP. You've been a foundation for our mission. Thank you, Aditya Agarwal, Managing Director, Morningstar India. Aditya, you're really helping us to do something very, very vital. It's sequestration of carbon through soils that belong to the villagers outside our national parks and sanctuaries. And we want to make them beneficiaries. Roshni Nadar, Chair, Habitat Trust, you're helping us. Rushikesh Chavan, you have done remarkably well as head of THT. And Deepak Parakh is not here today. He phoned me and said, oh, no, I couldn't come. But the fact is that the H.T. Parakh Foundation is helping us to do very critical work in the Sundarbans Tiger Reserve, which I believe is the most dangerous geography for any part of the world, given the climate crisis that's coming ahead of us. Protecting the tiger and its forest was an elitist concern, I was told. I can tell you that sometime way back in 1981 when we started, it wasn't hate mail, it was jibes, you know. कि यहाँ बच्चे भूखे मर गए हैं, तुम लोग जाके वहाँ पेड़ को छूना चाहते हो और ऐसा ऐसा हो बेचारा tiger and all that. You know, that's what they thought this was all about, but it turned out to be Project Tiger. At that point, I was not responsible for it. Forest officers were responsible. But it turned out to be the world's first two-scale rewilding successful project, and that is even today recognized as being a very, very major climate aid for the whole world, you know. Look, it's really, you know, when I had gone to Hemendra, he said that, look, you may be right, but get your language right. And Ranjit Barthakur sitting here somewhere, he also told me the same thing. He said, look, get your language right. You can keep on saying that this is the problem with tigers, we'll lose this species, and everybody's heart will break, but you've got to talk to them about their own personal bottom line, not only the government and corporates, but every single human being has to know that it's not possible for any activity, any human activity to be done if we lose track of the fact that what Herman Daly said was that the economy is a wholly owned subsidiary of the biosphere. So I'd put it like this, that our board, Sanctuary Board, we have so many wildlifers upon whom we can rely, but there's no wildlifers on our board. Our board consists of people. Paul Abraham is there, who was IndusInd CEO for such a long time. Lord Nicholas Stern is on our board. He's with with the London School of Economics. And Nick Stern said to us very simply, look, if we don't invest the money now to counter climate's forward march, it's going to be hugely more expensive to have to do when we try to repair things. This was one thing. But 90% of our effort, whether it's all of us, there are so many people sitting here, it's not just me, 90% of our rationale, we had to explain, भाई tiger को क्यों बचा रहे हो? क्या कर रहे हो? पागल हो क्या? ठीक है, zoo में जाके बचाओ. So then came a man called Professor Partha Dasgupta from the Cambridge University, who post the pandemic put out a simple, straightforward document which was based on research done not by any wildlifers but by economists. He said the pandemic was a direct result of the illegal wildlife trade coupled with the destruction of ecosystems. It's like, love me, love my dog. If you want to take a pangolin from here, you want to take a bat and you want to eat it, you eat the viruses with it. And it did go to Wuhan, but I'm not going into China, but I'm not going into conspiracy theories. I will say to you this, that protecting the biosphere's ecosystems is a critical strategy to prevent the climate crisis from destabilizing our economy. And toward this end, our deepest supporters to all of you, each one of you for being here. You are supporters of ours. You enable people with mud on their boots to actually do what they love to do. That is the crucial thing, the forest guards, the forest watchers, the villagers. So Kids for Tigers is another thing that we did. Actually, I must confess, I'm not cynical, but I was cynical for a while. And I gave up on my generation saying, "Bhai, you have to chip the cement out and then put grey matter. How can I explain anything, you know?" So we went to the children and Sunil Alag is somewhere here. He said, "I don't want you to go to just 10 kids or 20 kids. He got us 1,000,000+ kids. He was then with Britannia. And at that point, we collected 1,000,000 signatures from children with the permission of their parents, and we gave it to the then Prime Minister, Atal Bihari Vajpayee. And we got into the Limca Book of Records for saying this is the largest amount of signatures ever collected to save the tiger. All those things were done for what? It was done because we believe that parents will listen to children. They won't listen to lectures, they won't listen to priests, they won't listen to anybody, but they'll listen to their children. So these children now, I'm talking 1980, 1990 that was, they've grown up and somebody's a collector, somebody's a CEO, somebody's inherited his father's company, all kinds of things. But I'd put it like this, ki Sanctuary was, is, and will probably remain a collection of still pictures and moving words. We're a magazine. We have gone into social media and everything else, but we're a magazine, and these still pictures are the ones that launched us, and whether it's video or whether it's pictures, these are the ones that will take us forward. So the Sanctuary Wildlife Photography Awards, which have helped to broadcast our message further, I'm not going to read most of this. We actually want to unearth and share images from the wild to help create love, respect, understanding, and concern for the natural world. We had thousands and thousands of entries, and they poured in, and they were a mixed bag. Some of them so disturbing that you had to pause a while and say, "Ye kaise hota hai, kya hota hai, kyun hota hai," you know. But all of these, and some of them so exquisite that it makes you want to weep, you know. All of this is the stuff of conservation photography. Our jury, by the way, comprised Anish Andheria, Steve Winter, Nayan Khanolkar, Saurabh Sawant, Parvesh Pandya, Lakshmi Raman, our editor, and yours truly. None of us had any idea at all whose images we were choosing. In fact, in 1 year, one guy got two awards, and we said, too bad, we didn't know what the picture spoke. Anyway, so Prachi sitting somewhere up there refused to let any of us see whose picture it was, though some of us had seen those pictures here and there, but the judging was very, very straight and very stringent. We wouldn't allow this, we wouldn't allow that, etc. And now, with AI, it became almost impossible, you know. I mean, Saurabh Sawant is sitting up there and Parvesh Pandya is sitting there, and sometimes we would go to Anish Andheria and say, "Ye kya hai, ye sahi hai, galat hai, kya hai?" You know, so it's a real thing. When I was a kid, they said that pictures never lie. Now they say pictures lie until proven innocent, you know. So that's why I tell you, many pictures got weeded out. Anish, President of the Wildlife Conservation Trust, and my dear friend, will you join me on stage for a jugalbandi of sorts? And after I give him a hug, Saurabh, Sagar, Devika, Arghya, all of you magicians hidden up there in the control room, make good things happen, and when we give you the signal, start with the 5 honourable mentions. Anish? Oh, you're already here. You're a good man, Charlie Brown. Take care. So, here we are. The 5 honourable mentions, please. I'm sorry I haven't started with a nice, happy, pleasing image. A scar of betrayal. Lalit Ekanaike, not exactly unknown to all of us. He's one of the best photographers. He's from Sri Lanka. Ignore the foot. Look at the deep wire gash in the trunk of this elephant foraging in a plastic-choked Sri Lankan garbage dump. As in India, the people of Sri Lanka too worship Lord Ganesh, the elephant god. This image should cause us all to feel collective shame and spur us on to add whatever strengths we have to protect our wild elephants, whose numbers are in free fall both in Sri Lanka and India. Anish?
Inside Job by Hardeep Solanki. Web of Life in miniature form. The caterpillar that the spider has killed already isn't as unlucky as it seems here. It was anyways being consumed by a parasite, a nematode. It's an endoparasite that grows inside the body and eats the soft tissue. The caterpillar is alive. It doesn't eat the brain or the heart and continues to grow till the caterpillar actually dies because it doesn't have enough energy to survive after that. So the spider actually ended the ordeal by taking life out of this caterpillar of a moth. Amazing. And we all go after tigers, leopards, but the miniature animals, there is so much that happens there. And with macro cameras and now with your phones, I think most of us have become good photographers. And these are spiders probably, and butterflies could be your first subject of interest. Bittu, over to you.
Blind misadventure. Kaluthotage? Kaluthotage? I'm sorry about that, but it's Thelina, all right? This is in Nola in Sri Lanka again. A blind elephant. It's a very difficult relocation. The forest departments of any country have a really tough job. They've got too little money, they've got too many problems, and this is the process of relocating a blind elephant strikes a portrayal of compassion, control, colliding in conservation's gray zone. If we leave no space for elephants in the wild, I promise you, there's very little chance that the biosphere will leave space for us. Because when we leave space for the elephants, that space carbon is sequestered. That place is where it prevents floods and droughts. That's the place that feeds our aquifers. Those aquifers are the ones that feed us all, whether industry or whether farmers. Anish, back to you.
Primeval Glide by Viraj Ghaisas. Drones, it's because of them that we know that crocodiles can paint. The tail of the crocodile acts as an oar. It's full of fat, and it is the reason why crocodiles can go without food for nearly 6 to 7 years. It moves so smoothly, frictionlessly on the water. However, these 5 lapwings that you see to your left fill up the empty space to the left, right? And without them, this photo wouldn't have been here. So it's not always a subject, but it's also what's around it. And it's a very, very stark, very, very pleasant image. And the green color is because of algae, and that normally happens when there is no flow. And this is from Javai, it's a lake, and because of eutrophication, there is very little oxygen, that's why it looks green like this. Bittu, next to you.
Life isn't easy, I'll tell you this. Everything that happens in nature, there's a solution. In Simla, we used to have something called bichu booty. If you got it, it would itch like hell, but always next to it, something called saag. Usko lagao to back again, unless you used it for the wrong reasons. All right, so look, this is called SWAT Cat by Shane James. In Ranthambore, everybody goes to see tigers, and so must it be to a point, but there is so much more life there. And as far as these cheeky little black drongos are concerned, they dive bomb this powerful predator in the hope either something uske dar se gil jayegi, or maybe wo ghum jayega, so then they'll start eating something. This is the way of the jungle. There's no meanness, no enmity, there's no nothing. There's just eat or be eaten, you know. So this is an impeccably timed image. That's why it got chosen. It's an impeccably timed image, and this happens, but we don't get to see it. And if those who get to see it normally don't have a camera, and it got chosen. Anish.
Chocolate Tubes by Anvay Nakade. These are 3 times magnified. He must have used a super macro lens and ring flash or a diffuser. Because of technology, again, you can see some extraordinary things in an ordinary situation. So this is basically a slime mold. It grows on dead, decaying. It's a fungi. But just to give you the perspective, this is not more than 6 millimeters in size. And when you magnify it to this, it suddenly looks like, to me, when I saw this first, it looks like the Indian cricket team in a huddle in the middle of a playground. Or it's a human pyramid that is just about to form during Dahi Handi, during Gokulashtami. Fantastic stuff. Bittu, over to you.
No, I'll only add this to Anish's point that, nothing goes waste. I asked the children, is there any animal that you can tell me that is useless in the world? So sometimes it comes up cockroach, rat and all, and I tell them कि cockroach जो है ना, जब after mom has completely taken that little piece of dal and done, cleaned it and all that, the bacteria will form on that. The bacterial infection is what cockroaches are protecting us from. So if you don't want them, keep your kitchen clean. So nothing goes waste in nature. Everything that is wasted creates an opportunity for another one. Too Close for Comfort by Abhay Singh. Anish and myself have been too close for comfort. He said, "Nahi, kuch nahi hoga, kuch nahi hoga." The damned elephant had his trunk almost inside. He was sitting further away from the trunk. So he said, "Arey, kuch nahi hone wala, kuch nahi hone wala." But look, the bottom line is that we all go into forests. We have to respect the animals that exist. In this case, it was just a single elephant that was after. We had no idea. It came out of, just out of the bushes, must have been looking at us. But this was Dudhwa National Park, by the way. The thing is that how can we as intelligent human beings place the onus of peace on an animal? Like an elephant or a tiger or a snake or something. The onus of peace is upon us. And I've been honing on these elephants because our judges chose so many elephant pictures. But just think about it. हाथी को हम पूजते हैं, गणेश जी को हम पूजते हैं, तो इस देश में अगर हम उसको संभाल के ना रख सकते हैं तो हम अफ्रीका के लोगों को क्या कहेंगे कि भाई यहाँ तो तुम पूछते हो, वहाँ पूछते भी नहीं है, फिर भी हम लोग मतलब you get the drift, we have to get different ways to convince different sectors of people to do this. Otherwise, honestly, we don't have the technology to solve the climate crises. We can have wall-to-wall solar panels, we can have wall-to-wall fans radiating all along our coasts, but unless the biosphere is looked after, unless the species that constitute the checks and balances come back, the carbon won't come down. These elephants are causing problems. Anish, I won't ask you to go on about that. We could go on forever, but it's your turn now.
Motherhood Deceived by Lucky Jaiswal. It's a work of art, but these are eggs of stink bugs. And these eggs are not as lucky as Mr. Jaiswal. Nature has devised eggs to protect the developing embryo when the mother pushes the eggs out of her body. But these parasitic wasps wait to find a clutch in a thicket, and once it finds it, it goes to every single egg and it is co-evolved with stink bugs. It will not survive if there are no bugs. And so she will go and find every single egg, has an ovipositor, will lay her own egg inside the egg of a stink bug. The larvae will start relishing the larvae of the stink bug. And what emerges is a wasp and not a bug. Bittu.
I'm not going to be able to add anything to that even if I wanted to, so I'll get on to the next one. Winner Takes All by Namal Kamal Goda. So what we have here, again Sri Lanka, it's in the incredible Vilapattu National Park. A monitor lizard is trying to steal a crested hawk eagle's hard-won meal, a peahen. This gripping contest illustrates how in nature dominance decides destiny. I think that's also in the corporate sector. The same thing, and in the world of politics. So I'm not talking much more about this, but I will say this. Just seeing this bird is enough to make you go, ah! And seeing this bird doing all these shenanigans like this, fantastic. Anish?
Certified Grump by Thomas Vijayan. I'm telling you, 99% of the people sitting here will agree that cats have attitude. But the Palash's cat has attitude raised to infinity. First of all, it lives in -25, -30 degrees. It can live alongside larger predators like snow leopards, like wolves, Tibetan wolves, with red foxes. And it can hold in front of them. And I have spent many, many hours looking at Palash's cat mothers, looking after that kitten, going to feed on rodents. Just about 3 years ago, every single day that I was there, I saw nearly 6 to 7 of these animals. However, they have no chance against domestic dogs. There are a lot of dogs all across our Trans-Himalayas, and they have started eating wild animals. Another big threat to Palash's cat is linear infrastructure. And I hear that now you can go 5 days without seeing one animal, and this has happened just in two years after the construction started there. So we need to do a lot of science to see how development and conservation can go hand in hand. And I think development is required. We need medicine, we need education to reach the nook and cranny of the country. But it is possible if we do solid science to balance. And that's what many of the organizations who work today in India are doing. Bittu, over to you.
So, Anish, I will add to this one of yours, I mean, just look at that cat, just look at it. But the fact is that its dependence is on the snow of the third pole. And the ice melt at the hands of climate change threaten the cat more than anything else can ever possibly threaten it. But having said that, I have something to ask of you. There's a lovely magazine with this very same ramp model on its cover in your bags. Make me smile. May I please ask everyone in this hall to dig into their bags, hold up the magazine with the cover facing Yogesh, who's going to come over here and take a picture of this. Could we have the house lights up a little bit? Yogesh, please come up. Let's have some light. And lovely people, I'll tell you this, I'll be jumping for joy if you would use the card attached to the magazine to subscribe. Also consider gifting 5 or 10 subscriptions to your friends so they can seek sanctuary as well. Hemendra, this was exactly what we did in 1981. No money, no nothing. We went to friends and said, give 5 subscriptions, 10 subscriptions, and it landed up, and 45 years ago, we're still alive. We need your help. Just subscribe and give it to your friends. We're flooded with subscriptions, and I'd love for history to repeat itself over the next half century. So subscribe now. Thank you so much. As always, despite jury battles, we hone in on a tiny handful of images out of thousands that I get to pick. Anish, I get to pick. Jhagda karta hai. It's called Mortal Kombat and is taken by Aditi Agarwal. These are fish-eating gharials, the second longest in the world after the saltwater crocs, grows to a length of 6 meters. It's not just the incredible action you see here between 2 competing males. This image grabbed my personal attention because these crocs are indicators of the health of the Chambal River, the same way as the tiger is the symbol of the health of Ranthambore and all the others. And Ranthambore happens to be the catchment area which feeds water from the Banas River into the Chambal River. Everything in nature is so damn connected, it's so connected, it's life-giving water. It's really, really remarkable. Of all these various images, we have to choose 3 images. I can tell you this is a very, very difficult and it's a nerve-wracking, stress-making job to choose good pictures. It's like saying so many wonderful people, choose one good person. Anyway, now for the 3 winning images. And Anish, your job is to give us the caption, the details of the third and the second.
And now for the 3 winning images, the third prize for the Sanctuary Wildlife Photography Award 2025 goes to Kuldeep Lodhi for this intriguing image titled Cormorant's Assemblage. If not for the caption, I can tell you many in the audience will not know what's happening here. But again, drones. As I'm sure all of us have some time in your life, some of us even today, spend a lot of time watching clouds, forming different formations. And now because of drones, we are able to see flocks of birds doing the same, but from the bird eye view. And so because of that, this is not an exotic place. This is right in the middle of Bhopal, Bada Talab. And I'm sure when you look at a flock of birds from a drone, it'll form so many different shapes. The photographers have frozen it here. And to me, what you see to your left looks like a tail feather of a peacock. And on the right, there's a flower with anthers formed because of the flight of some cormorants. So it's like a flower and a feather on the same canvas. The second prize for the Sanctuary Wildlife Photography Award 2025 goes to Adam Taylor for this quixotic image titled Life and Death Flight. So many things about this image. 1, nothing goes waste in nature. this is a deer that must have been killed by a jackal or some other predator and then scavenged by so many other animals. Finally, this top predator of the bird world has found this and is trying to take the deer away. But when you look at it, to me, it looked like if you think of it as one, like a cyborg straight out of science fiction, the upper half, which is the bird, is the upper half of the cyborg, and the skeleton is the lower half of the body. And if you look at it poetically, this is what will happen to the bird when it dies. So it's transitioning from the bird, and it's fascinating. So many different images, and it was a pleasure, as always, to look at them. Bittu, over to you to do the honors.
Well, I'll do that, but I'll tell you again, same thing over and over again. Kuch zaya hota hi nahi. After the bones are left, the porcupines will eat the bones also. So, Anish, so friends, the Sanctuary Wildlife Photographer of the Year 2025 is Rumna Mukherjee for her magnificent photograph titled Tough Love. High in the trees in Jaipur city's famous Jhalana Conservation Reserve, a male and female leopard erupt into a ferocious clash, and their ghar mein bhi hota hai. Rosetted bodies draped across the canopy in a blur of power and grace. Such confrontations between the sexes are rare, and their aggressive intensity often blurs the line between combat and courtship. Ghar mein bhi hota hai. For a fleeting moment, the agile cat hangs on suspended. Look, it was just the angle of the image. It was the action that takes place, and it was an incredible image, and there was unanimity on this one. It got the first prize.
Mostly when people shoot carnivores, they are with long lenses.
Yeah.
This was taken with a wide lens right below, so it's a very rare way of shooting leopards.
So, Kakubai, Photokina, long-term friend, supporter, wildlife photographer extraordinaire in your own rights, may I ask you to come up on stage and present the Sanctuary Photographer of the Year award to Rumna Mukherjee. Ladies and gentlemen, Rumna Mukherjee. Come, Kakubai. Come. Aye. You are right here. You will present that award. She's coming. Come, right here. Stand right here so that you can be. Yeah, there you are. Lovely. Yeah, so we will just hold this across. Wonderful. Congratulations. Come.
We respond to power. We respond to beauty. We respond to perfection. Sometimes I wonder what I did to deserve to be able to cast my gaze on that animal.
Of all the living things on this planet, nothing compares to a tiger. The tiger is the absolute boss of his domain. And everybody reacts when the boss is around. The forest explodes with sounds of birds, deer, langurs. And yet, when they need to, they have this incredible ability to just disappear. Just because there are no alarm calls doesn't mean that there's no tiger.
Tigers, 500 tigers, 800 tigers, 1,300 tigers. Everyone fighting and competing, skins all over the place. India was rich with wildlife, and everyone who was a part of the super elite was out there with a gun.
There are very interesting indications of concerns about the tiger early on. There were fears of the tiger becoming extinct expressed by Cobbett. Cobbett actually believed that independent India would not be able to save the tiger.
India's wildlife was being demolished. It was like a bulldozer running through.
By the 1960s, mid-60s, things were really bad. Wherever I went, I heard gunshots. I saw tigers being killed and paraded. So that was a dismal period when I thought tigers would go extinct.
What India needed then was a leader with a passion, who loved nature, who understood the web of life in nature. Then, in 1966, it happened. By the 1980s, tigers were rewriting their natural history.
So, that's Project Tiger for you, the world's most successful conservation project, and it is showing the way how we can actually solve the climate crises, because these tiger reserves are the ones that are actually inland, sequestering and storing carbon and doing so many things that we've already spoken about. But let's put it like this. You don't have to be far away. Right here in this hall, there are people who are doing what they have to do. I'd like to shine a spotlight on people who chose not to wait any further for inspiration, direction, or to do what their hearts told them to do. They were doing it. Can I start with you, Kalyan Varma? Filmmaker, wildlife photographer, conservationist. Stand, keep standing. The Project Tiger film, the trailer we just saw, it was put together by you. You used the medium of film to win mass public opinion for India's wildlife, and God knows we need mass public opinion. Always behind the camera, you spotlight others, but in the jungle mein mor nacha kisne dekha is a reality. You decided long ago that you would dedicate your life to the use of cinema, arguably the most powerful medium in the world to change public opinion and win over policymakers, and of course, children and their parents over to nature's side. Kalyan Varma, you're making a huge difference. Thank you. BMC Safai Karamcharis. आप कहाँ हो? Salam. Annapurna Murugesh Devendra, Hirabai Ramesh Koste, Subramanyam Armugam Thevar, Ganesh Sudin Chanda Shive, Vijay Balram Shirke, and their junior supervisors Sandeep, Rajaram Chavan, and Karan Abasab Wagmare. Look, just they deserve to be really appreciated by us. Virtually every citizen in Mumbai curses the BMC for not doing this and not doing that, but as far as these people are concerned, thanklessly they spend their lives picking up the litter that we drop. They're not dropping the litter, we're dropping the litter. So in this hall, I think everyone will agree that the quality of our lives depends upon them, and almost invariably, I mean, they do what they do, you do what you do away from the spotlight. So today, thank you for honoring us by allowing us to spotlight you. The city should be proud of you. What a difference you're making. What a difference you're making. Salam, thank you. Sanvi Patel, Arnav Bhoinkar, future leaders, adventurers, mental health activists. At the ripe old age, Sanvi, you are 11 and Arnav, you are 12. Students of the LK High School in Chunabhatti embarked on an incredible 3,300 kilometers. Such hai kya ye? 3,300 kilometers cycling expedition from Sion to Kanyakumari and back. And मेरे राजे बच्चे मुझे ये बोलो कि is it true you finished in 14 days? मैं नहीं यकीन कर सकता हूँ. कितना टाइम लगा था? 27 days. So they were guided by Parveen Patel. Thank you, Parveen Patel, who works in the Sion Hospital. This expedition was designed for a very simple reason. It's a very important reason to any one of us who have children and grandchildren right now. They wanted to demonstrate that their electronic gadgets can be they wanted to disconnect themselves from them and to tell other children they can do that by experiencing and exploring the real world. Sanvi Patel, Arnav Bhoinkar, Parveen Patel, you are making a fabulous amount of difference. Nandini Dubey, educationist, naturalist, mental health activist. Thank you. You are also worried about our children's increasing addiction to electronic gadgets, and you have therefore made it your mission to bridge the widening gap between young people and the natural world. You do this by opening windows to the complex web of life through educational games, marine walks, forest walks, you inspire, break barriers, help dispel the very real ecological grief that afflicts us all. By sensitively guiding the young and their parents, you are actually turning them into future environmental stewards and conscious green citizens. Nothing could be better than this for the survival of this next generation that we're going to leave a damaged but repairable world. You're making a huge difference. Thank you. Chetan Soorenji, corporate professional, visionary, urban climate solutions provider. Chetan, you began with a simple idea. You wanted to green Mumbai's roofs to reduce building heat. As the canopies flourished, they unexpectedly evolved into a thriving pollinator ecosystem amidst Mumbai's concrete landscapes. Through rainwater harvesting, beekeeping, other sustainable products, you have not only helped a host of nurture other creatures, but the self-sustaining green rooftops habitat, but you've actually managed to fill their lives with butterflies and birds. They also came. And in doing so, you have turned your passion into an eco-inspired startup. God knows we need many more like you, Chetan. You're making a huge difference, and thank you. We need guys like you to tell us how we should live our lives. Makaran Bansode and Kunika Bansode Sawant. Artists, storytellers, change-making directors, please, where are you? There you are, sorry. In missionary mode, you both set up the Vanyavani Foundation, a movement that uses Indian folk performances and arts to raise wildlife awareness and to inspire nature conservation. You marry media, culture, storytelling, music, theatre into frontline conservation. You have talent that we don't have, and we will want to work with you to see how we can go. You even won people over on the tough issue of leopard-human interactions using humor. I don't know किसके ऊपर कौन हंस रहा था, लेकिन आपने सही किया, and what touches the heart stays in the mind, they say. So you turn performances into a life-saving lesson for young and old, urban and rural. Makaran and Kunika, what a difference you're making. Thank you. Valmik Thapar, you left us too damn soon. I miss you. We both worked closely. I miss that man. We worked closely with Belinda Ulas and uncounted compatriots. India's forest officers gave shape to Project Tiger. Wherever you, Valmik, you're still making a difference. You're still making a difference. Jane Goodall, you have left a gaping hole in our hearts. We can't have you here with us, but we can hear your voice.
Well, one reason is because of organizations like yours. It's truly a great honor to receive this award in a ceremony that honors wildlife champions from around India, and especially as it's being awarded by an organization that does such amazing work for wildlife, an organization I greatly admire. Indeed, if there weren't individuals and organizations like this, there would probably be little wildlife and wild places left to save. And so the people who are defending the natural world, the people who are risking and even losing their lives to protect animals and wildlife and the environment, they are so often fighting an unknown battle. People don't recognize them, people don't honor them, and yet there are no conservation efforts that would work if it wasn't for the people on the ground. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to these so often unsung heroes.
That was Dame Jane Goodall delivering her acceptance speech on being presented with the Sanctuary Wildlife Legend Award in 2021. Her advice to us before she passed away: what you do makes a difference. You have to decide what kind of difference you want to make. Suchitra, the stage is yours.
Truer words were never spoken. We all do have to decide what a difference we can make. Call them legends, call them angels, but definitely an inspiration to us all. I think you all will agree. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are in for a treat. You are going to experience the incredible Sunaina Sarkar with friends. Music was born in nature, from melodies to rhythms to notes and harmonies. And no dedication to nature can ever be complete without music. Geologist and professor and vocals director for Disney, Netflix, Apple TV, DreamWorks, and more, Sunaina Sarkar and some of Mumbai's most celebrated recording artists, along with Ashwin Srinivasan on the flute, now come together to weave a song about nature. Srishti Ki Sargam. They are accompanied by the Mumbai Vocal Choir, and it is time now, ladies and gentlemen, for you all to give a big, big, big round of applause as we witness music at its best along with nature. Srishti Ki Sargam. I think we can make some more noise for that incredible, incredible song. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Sunaina. Thank you so much. And what an amazing, amazing group of singers and musicians. Thank you so much for that. And we all hope that that anthem to nature reaches every beating heart. You all should also know, by the way, that every single piece of footage in the video that you all saw was shot by our very own Anish Anderia. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Awards, and we're about to meet some of the quietest, largely unsung guardians of the wild, working to strengthen India's natural ecosystems, our nation's immunity infrastructure, and our best defense against climate gone wrong. A teacher with a difference, literally immersed deep in nature, this highly experienced dive instructor who contributes practical and theoretical learning on marine conservation, offers the ultimate teacher's gift to his students, the love and understanding of the oceans, from whence all life emerged.
The first footprints were cast on the beach by the life forms that crawled out of the ocean for the very first time to meet the land, to become bird, animal, and man. Venkatesh Charlu's prints appear on a beach just like his ancestors. But they don't trail away towards land. They return here. Here is where Venkatesh Charlu has always felt home. A home that he has spent countless hours in research, exploration, coral transplantation, and artificial reef creation. An ocean ambassador, he founded the NGO Coastal Impact in Goa in 2009. The organization engaged in beach cleanup drives, education outreach programs, and marine conservation initiatives, such as the Adopt a Coral program. As a greatly experienced diver who has spent over 30 years exploring the blue underworld, Venkatesh Charlu has done the thing that all knowledge asks of its holders: to be carried forward, to be shared and passed on. Venkatesh Charlu has trained over 2,000 people to safely traverse the depths of the sea. Over 3,000 curious minds have been initiated into the wondrous world of marine conservation under his guidance. Many of them underprivileged children from local schools. A teacher to many but forever a student of the sea, he was once a banker who today recognizes that the true wealth of man are the oceans, the seas, the rivers, and the forests.
To present the award, may I request Mrs. Urvi Piramal, Chairperson of Peninsula Land Limited, an avid wildlifer and sanctuary supporter. Please do join us on stage. And ladies and gentlemen, Sanctuary's Green Teacher for 2025 is Venkatesh Charlu. A big hand. Thank you, Mrs. Piramal. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. We are all humans. We all make mistakes. So with deep regard to Mr. Bittu Sahgal, you made the biggest mistake and I'm the result. I'm standing here. I feel very humbled today. All these people have done so much more than me. But since the mistake has been made, and there are quite a few people who are looking to fund organizations here, my bags are outside the door. Please feel free. Put in loads of it. Yeah. Thank you so much. Enjoy the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Congratulations. As the Indian skimmer makes its nest, vulnerable to shifting sands and human vagaries. One woman stands over it like a guardian, bridging the gap between field research, community involvement, and policy. She delivers a new lease of life for the bird, its wild neighbors, and their serene Chambal home.
Like her ancestors who walked by the banks, she too has left tracks in the sand. Sand that shimmers golden in sideways light, each grain brought here for something good, so that a little bird may imprint the shape of her belly onto a fistful of sand, so that a wide-eyed, bird-loving girl from Mumbai may find her purpose. It was the Indian skimmer that drew Parveen Shaikh's gaze to the fragile web of life and matter along the Chambal. The little bird only asks for a fistful of sand so she can lay her eggs. To see that even that little bit she needed was threatened meant things needed to change. As part of the iconic Bombay Natural History Society's field research team, Parveen established the Nest Guardian program, enabling the locals to become stewards of nesting sites, protecting them from canids, cattle, and human interference. Through countless surveys and conservation activities from 2016, the program provided employment but also instilled a sense of ownership. By 2022, new skimmer colonies were given full protection. In 2017, there were 400 nesting birds. In 2024, there were more than 800. The efforts afforded sanctuary to other species that lived there. Protecting a few sandbars was only half the job done. Parveen conversed with village communities, local leaders and religious figures who united to safeguard the wondrous landscape that the Chambal had breathed life into. In time, the Chambal will scatter the sandbars so they take shape elsewhere. The fistful of sand the Indian skimmer borrowed from the river too will be returned. Among all the things the river claims as her own, shining bright will be the generosity, kindness and courage that Parveen Shaikh brought to the banks of her beloved Chambal.
Truly giving new meaning to Ek Muthi Zameen, for sure. To present this exceedingly well-deserved award, may I call upon Mr. Aditi Agarwal, Managing Director of Morningstar India Limited, and a strong sanctuary supporter, to please join me on stage. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a huge, warm round of applause. Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2025 goes to Parveen Shaikh. Thank you so much, Mr. Agarwal. Thank you.
Thank you for this honor. It truly means a lot. During my early days on the Chambal River, I often wondered what I had gotten myself into. For the first couple of years, I did not even tell my family I was working in Chambal. I would say Gwalior, because honestly, who chooses Chambal as their first field site for a long-term work? Those early days still make me smile and remind me how special this journey has been. I'm deeply grateful to my parents for supporting me, my colleagues at BNHS who have been steady source of positive energy, and I thank all of them. And a big thanks to Chandraban, Sonu, Mukesh, Viraj, Omkar, Siddharth, Deval, and Jyoti. This would not have been possible without this team. And I dedicate this honor to all the nest guardians who work on the ground. It's 45-degree hot with crocodiles in the river and sand mafias, and they show courage every year to come back to the system and protect these birds. My heartfelt thanks to my husband Pritesh, who have always tell me, go for it, and reminds me of the difference that I might be making. So congratulations to all the winners tonight, and I will keep doing my best to help the skimmers skim. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much, Parveen. As a forest guard for over 2 decades, this pillar for the future of our biodiversity, our food and water security, continues a generational family resolve to protect the fabled Corbett National Park, where Project Tiger was launched way back in 1973. Uttarakhand's forests are home, their safe space.
Predator or prey, flower or fruit, spore or seed, tree or blade of grass. In the jungle is place enough for everything true and everything wild. The forest did not ask Baban, "Who are you?" or "Where do you belong?" It only asked, "What do you want to be?" "Myself," said Baban. "Where I am myself, I am home." Born in the Kalagad range of Corbett in Uttarakhand, Baban grew up observing the tough duties of their father, fighting forest fires, warding off poachers, trapping tigers in perilous conflict, and walking the wilds in the land of roar and trumpet. One day, their beloved father passed, and Baban slipped in to replace him as the guardian of the forest. The life of forest guards is tough by any measure. Yet it is on their shoulders that the survival of our forests and our hope for the future depends. Isolated and all too often othered by those considered extended family, Baban continues to tramp the Corbett wilderness with mud on their boots. "But the forest saved my life. It toughened me. It healed me," says Baban. The animals and the birds became family, and the great old trees, my elders. An ever-vigilant forest guard, Baban is always quick to respond when trouble calls in the forest. Their love. To Baban, to protect the forest is an act of self-love, and to be loved is to simply arrive here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award 2025 goes to Baban, who unfortunately could not be able to join us today because of the land of roar and trumpet needs every forest guard it has to protect its magical wilderness. But that should not stop us from applauding loudly once more for Baban so that their work is celebrated. Over a decade now, he has walked over 6,000 kilometers along and across some of the most magnificent rivers of India. Every bend of the life-giving waters, every face along their banks, guide him on his mission, connecting communities through the message of water and environmental justice.
If anyone can tell you the difference between being a visitor to the Ganga and then witnessing it, it would be Siddharth Agarwal, who walked alongside her for 3,000 kilometers. To witness her was to witness the lives and the landscapes that birthed in her wake. Already a cartographer of cultures and stories, Siddharth had cycled and walked the seldom traversed trails. He believed that true witnessing came through presence, patience, and a deep curiosity for the untold. Walking along the Ganga and observing the lives of the people that lived beside her, Siddharth chronicled cultural realities, the myriad issues at the grassroots, and the growing disconnect between people and their acceptance of nature as a living entity. Siddharth founded Veditam, a not-for-profit research, media, and action-oriented organization working at the intersection of environmental and social justice. Veditam launched the Moving Upstream Fellowship in 2019 in partnership with the Out of Eden Walk to get young Indians to walk along India's rivers, learning about these waterways intimately, documenting them, and then eventually telling these stories. Since then, 23 fellows have walked over 2,000 kilometers along the rivers Betwa, Sindh, and Luni as part of the fellowship. Stories gathered from over a decade of walking along and across rivers and their ecosystems, Siddharth distilled 6 1,000 kilometers of observation and learning into a plan for action, conservation, and environmental justice. He also founded Sandwatch in 2023, an open, public-facing platform dedicated to tracking and exposing unsustainable sand mining across the country. The project blends storytelling, citizen observation, and advanced machine learning to build clean, accessible data sets that support media, researchers, policymakers, and grassroots action. Over the years, his work has enabled countless conversations and partnerships, resulting in vital alliances and networks. By walking the rivers, by witnessing them, by telling their stories, here is a man who reminds us how we remember our rivers is not much different than how we remember ourselves.
To present the award to Siddharth Agarwal, may I please request Ms. Reena Khatau, Chairperson of Conservation Corporation of India Private Limited and Corbett Foundation and co-founder with her late Dilip Khatau of the Corbett Foundation, to please join us on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, a Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2025 goes to Siddharth Agarwal. He unfortunately got caught in the airline mess, which all of us have been going through, which prevented Siddharth from reaching us from Kolkata. But his partner, Ritvika Roy Chaudhary, who's now on stage, is accepting the award on his behalf. Thank you, Mrs. Khatau. While Siddharth couldn't join us today, he has sent an acceptance speech. Devika.
Hi, I'm Siddharth, and I'm extremely grateful to have been recognized with the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award in 2025. Though this award is named to an individual, this recognition is anything but that. This award is for everyone at my organization, Breathtaking India Foundation. It is for all of our partners, collaborators, and donors, for our volunteers. It is for the people and ecosystems we work to protect. When we work on systemic issues like we do at Vedatam, it consistently reminds us that we live in an extremely interconnected world way beyond our imagination. And we must persevere to preserve these connections. I want to thank my parents, my family, my friends, and my partner for their consistent support in the work that I do, because it takes a lot to put up with somebody who is driven by the kind of madness that affects me. I hope we all find our madness for the planet and people and work to truly achieve justice. I hope for free-flowing, healthy rivers. Thanks again for this recognition.
She has created new avenues for women in wildlife conservation. With over 2 decades of experience as an Indian Forest Service officer, she has demonstrated how an administrator can be pragmatic yet compassionate, understanding yet tough, wise, learned, and strong. She is a beacon of hope for the future of wild India.
The river keeps its promise, and the jungle patiently waits. Each year, the Brahmaputra swells to embrace Kaziranga like an old friend. It wipes clean the tracks and the traces of mighty predators, gentle giants, winged wonders. And although Dr. Sonali Ghosh's tracks are swept away just the same, her presence remains ever shining and unmistakable across the jungle. The safety of both humans and animals is entrusted to Dr. Sonali Ghosh and her team, who remain ever vigilant. She is the first female field director of the resplendent Kaziranga National Park and Tiger Reserve. She is also the first Indian recipient of the IUCN WCPA Kenton R. Miller Award, an international award for innovation in national parks and protected area sustainability. Dr. Ghosh has been an extraordinary administrator of India's wilderness, serving in a multitude of positions as an IFS officer across the state of Assam. A researcher, scientist, and editor, from working with the golden langurs and rehabilitating captive-bred clouded leopards in Manas landscape, to pursuing environmental law and holding a PhD in physical geography. Dr. Ghosh's care and curiosity for the world have always carried a velocity for making a difference. A bright-eyed probationer who trained at Kaziranga and returned as the first ever female field director of the region 20 years later, Dr. Sonali Ghosh's remarkable journey has forged a path for countless women to step forward and take charge of their forests and their people. True listening, believes Dr. Ghosh, is the inheritance of women. They listen, they love, they act. So the forest may speak, and when the forest speaks, the women have been heard.
To present the award, may I request Dr. Ramakant Panda, CEO of the Asian Heart Institute and a wildlife aficionado, photographer and active conservationist working to protect lesser floricans, to please join us on stage. Dr. Sonali Ghosh. Thank you so much, Dr. Panda. Yes.
Thank you so much. And I had to write this actually. I'm a bit nervous. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a long journey from the Bokakhat's dusty charm to Mumbai's dazzling dazzle. The upgrade feels like trading bumpy jeep rides for red carpets. Thank you, Sanctuary Asia, for championing foresters. I grew up glued to your awesome magazine, never dreaming I would crash your party someday. Talking of parties, I think the Foresters Boys Club finally got gate crashed and glitter bombed as women claimed their rightful spots across all fronts. And thank you to each one of you in this room for encouraging and endorsing this. Heartfelt thanks to my parents for teaching me humility while dreaming big. Awesome teachers for fueling curiosity. A patient family for endless support. Kind bosses, especially the political ones, for forgiving flaws. And last but not the least, the frontline heroes, protecting our biodiversity like superheroes. For them, the capes are optional, the machets are mandatory. Kaziranga gives back tenfold. She's nature's ultimate selfless supermom, teaching us to protect with passion. As she whispers, give more, grudge less. Cheers to wild hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
The inspiring revival of the Satkosia Tiger Reserve is a powerful reflection of his vision. He has dedicated over 3 decades as an Indian Forest Service official to protect the home of India's wildlife. A fierce guardian of the tiger, a redeemer of its home, he is a protector of all that it represents.
The tiger is not an animal, it is a landscape. It carries the presence of all the wild things that call the jungle their home. Its voice is their voice. Its rage is their rage. Its peace is their peace. Among the many good people that understood this and did all they could to safeguard the tiger's world is Saroj Kumar Panda. a dedicated range forest officer, and an accomplished photographer who across decades has served the many forests of Odisha. He is the Deputy Conservator of Forests at Kosia, where his relentless efforts in eliminating the threats posed by poachers ensured that life abounded and made possible the many successful relocation stories of Satkosia. The world watched with bated breath as Saroj Kumar Panda and his team tactfully captured and relocated Sundari, a fierce tigress in the national spotlight. She had invited both conflict and awe. Thanks to the tireless efforts of Saroj Kumar Panda and his team, Satkosia has now been approved for relocation of 16 tigers. He also played a key role in the revival of the endangered gharial population in the Satkosia Gorge. This year alone, 29 hatchlings were discovered on a sandbar in the Mahanadi Gorge, making a significant milestone in conservation efforts. The overall life in the forest has abounded, with much welcome community involvement and rescue and rehabilitation efforts. A proud member of the Chadai Club, an organization engaged in sparrow conservation, Saroj Kumar Panda remains forever accessible by NGOs across Odisha should they need a helping hand. Once an aspiring mathematician, today a beloved guardian of the forests, Saroj Kumar Panda's endless dedication is there for all to see. A sizable portion that keeps multiplying itself to infinity.
To present this award, may I please request our very own Anish Andheria to come on stage. Dyed-in-the-wool wildlife conservationist. Anish, please join us on stage. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, our winner of the Sanctuary Wildlife Service Award for 2025 goes to Saroj Kumar Panda. Thank you, Anish. Thank you.
Thanks all, and Bittu sir and Sanctuary Asia for honoring me this award. Actually, I dedicate this award to all my frontline staff for whom I am here today. And my wife, in our vacant life, she stays night and days alone when I am working in the forest. So, without her support, it is difficult for me to being a passionately work for Satkosia. Again, I thank you all for honoring me this. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, sir. Driven by compassion, instinct, and a visceral belief in a kinder world where wildlife and humans can coexist, this 19-year-old is a force to reckon with. His love for nature turned into decisive actions early in life. He began rescuing wildlife in class 8 and has rescued 400 snakes and other animals in the last year alone.
As humanity builds its tall buildings, its sprawling villas, sweeping flyovers, and compact neighborhoods, it invariably creates negative spaces. The unvisited, unclaimed, unseen nooks and corners that the wild things confine themselves to. Because the green and open spaces they once called home had now become the concrete jungle. Here in the underland, where the displaced beings roam, you will find Sahil Bhiso Gaukar. Not because he lost his way, but because he was called. By the time he was 14, Sahil began rescuing non-venomous snakes, birds, small creatures, and showed a remarkable ability to identify various species. Soon enough, under the guidance of outstanding teachers and mentors Sahil looked up to, he learned the ways of snake and animal rescue and rehabilitation. In 2024, Sahil began working as a wildlife rescuer with the Kanakona Territorial Forest Department. Only 19 years young, Sahil has already rescued over 400 snakes and countless birds, palm civets and monitor lizards, while also ensuring their safe release. Today, Sahil Biso Gaukar is the voice that brings awareness to the beauty and plight of the creatures that live alongside us, the hands that carry them to safety, the shoulders that carry the weight of the present and their responsibility that so many others seem to have abandoned. When future generations ask their elders what they did to safeguard what they inherited, his is the story that will be told.
How true is that? 19 years on this earth and so much done already. To present this award, may I please request Ms. Dia Mirza, actor, producer, One India Stories, eco-investor, UNEP Goodwill Ambassador, and UN Secretary General's advocate for Sustainable Development Goals, to please step on stage. That's a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, please give the biggest round of applause. The Young Naturalist Award for 2025 goes to Sahil Biso Gaukar. Thank you so much, Dia.
Good evening, everyone. My heartfelt thanks to the Century Nature Foundation for this honor. I accepted this award with a deep gratitude and love from Goa. I want to take a moment to thank the people who played an important role in this journey. My geography teacher, Sir Devendra Tavadkar, one of the first person who introduced me in this beautiful path. Harish Chodankar sir, who trained me and has been a constant support and a source of knowledge. Shri Charan Desai sir and the team whose passion and work always inspired me. And of course, Sir Amrut Singh, one of the innovators of snake rescues in Goa. I want to thank my parents, Ma and Papa, for always giving me the freedom to travel and learn new things. This award is not just a recognition. It is the reminder that every effort matters. Once again, I want to thank Century Nature Foundation and all the members who work hard. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Since 2000, Sanctuary has had the privilege of working with and honoring some of the most driven individuals whose minds, bodies, and souls have been dedicated to protecting the planet. Inspirational and self-facing, these are the leaders, the heroes that we want our children to idolize and be like. This year, our Lifetime Service Award goes out to one such man, respected, consulted across the world, and best known as the Waterman of India. Through a lifetime of grassroots action, he has worked with communities to revive not one, but over 14 once dry rivers. For 5 decades, his organization, Tarun Bharat Sangh, has helped shore up the water security of an astounding 1,500 villages across India through traditional water harvesting strategies. With his work in national and international committees and programs, he has carved a place for rivers in policy and public opinion.
Us humans have clocks to record time, but the earth keeps time in rivers, ever flowing forwards into the eternity of the oceans. Rivers are how the earth reminds itself of the immensity of the present. Among the few that witness the world in its waters, Dr. Rajendra Singh, who has always believed that the well-being of a land comes down to how its people tend to every drop of water. He is the Waterman of India, called rightfully so because he has revived 14 dried-up rivers through grassroots action. Born in a village called Daula, Uttar Pradesh, a degree holder in Ayurveda, Dr. Rajendra Singh is the founder and president of Tarun Bharat Sangh, a grassroots organization near the Sariska Tiger Reserve where his journey began. Over 5 decades, the organization has worked with rural communities to build thousands of water harvesting structures. Over 15,800 traditional joharts have been constructed in drought-prone regions, subsequently returning a wealth of flora and fauna to the regions. Today, 2,000 villages across India are water secure because of their efforts. He believes that water is a shared resource, and by recharging the aquifers, it becomes available to both farmers and wild animals. As chair of the People's World Commission on Drought and Flood, he has implemented over 500 programs in regions and populations affected by the changing climate. He is not only the voice of advocacy, but also the roar of protest. Countless dam projects that would have caused great ecological damage along the Bhagirathi River now stand cancelled thanks to the efforts of Dr. Singh and his close aides. Dr. Rajendra Singh's endless accomplishments continue to write themselves in language, ink, and pixel. But to him, true acknowledgements lie in the moist earth, once parched. Tap water flowing freely in a rural kitchen. The quiet turn of village and forest nourished by the rivers, lakes and wells, reminding us how in healing rivers we can heal ourselves.
To present the award, may I request Mr. Hemendra Kothari, Chairman, DSP Investment Managers, the Wildlife Conservation Trust, and the Nature Conservancy India Advisory Board to step onto stage and do the honors. Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Rajendra Singh, Sanctuary's 2025 Lifetime Service Awardee.
जब कोई दोस्त किसी दोस्त को सम्मानित करता है तो वो थोड़ा अलग सा होता है। सम्मान तो दुनिया में बहुत लोग दूर दूर से देते हैं, लेकिन जब अपना दोस्त आपको सम्मानित करे, उसका नज़रिया, उसका गौरव अलग होता है। इसलिए मैं सबसे पहले बिट्टू सहगल को और मधु को बधाई देना चाहता हूं कि इन्होंने इनकी सेंचुरी नेचुरल फाउंडेशन ने और इनके दोस्तों ने मुझे इस माया नगरी के मायावी समाज से मिला दिया। ये जो बिट्टू है, ये बड़ा अजीब सा आदमी है। मायावी लोगों को प्रकृति और संस्कृति के योग का पाठ पढ़ाता है। जो सबसे कठिन काम है। दोस्तों, मैं बस इतना ही कहना चाहता हूं कि मुझे अब तक जितने सम्मान मिले, उन सम्मानों में ये सम्मान मेरे लिए सबसे बड़ा है। और इसका बड़ा होने का कारण ये है कि मैं बिट्टू को पिछले 50 साल से जानता हूं और वो भी मुझे जानता है। तो जब जान पहचान के एक दूसरे को प्यार, विश्वास और सम्मान करने लगते हैं, तो वो उत्कर्ष होता है। मेरे लिए ये उत्कर्ष है। पर ये सम्मान बिट्टू मैं अपने लिए नहीं मानता। ये सम्मान
चंबल की उन बहनों को है जिन्होंने 6,332 डाकुओं की बंदूकें छुड़वाकर उनको किसान बनाया। ये सम्मान उन लोगों का है जिन्होंने पिछले 50 वर्षों में हमारे साथ मिलकर भारत की जमीन पर छोटी छोटी 23 नदियों को शुद्ध सदा नीरा बनाकर पुनर्जीवित किया। दोस्त, ये सबसे ज्यादा उन लोगों को सम्मान जाता है जिन्होंने सरिस्का की खदानों को बंद करा के 478 खदानों को बंद करा के, जिसके कारण सरिस्का बेबाग हो गया था, सरिस्का में एक टाइगर नहीं बचा था, उन खदानों को बंद कराने में और सुप्रीम कोर्ट की मेरी लड़ाई में जिन्होंने मेरा रात दिन साथ दिया, और उसके कारण अरावली पर्वत की खदानें बंद हुई, और जब खदानें बंद हुई तो मरी हुई सूखी नदियां फिर से बहने लगी। इसलिए बिट्टू, आपने जो मुझे जो भी कुछ किया आज, ये सचमुच उस समाज के लिए किया है जो प्रकृति को, धरती को पानी से पुनर्जीवित करना जानते हैं, और जो ये मानते हैं कि ये जो क्लाइमेट चेंज है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग है, इस सब का समाधान जल है। जल जमीन को और जमीन के ऊपर जो भी कुछ फोना फ्लोरा है उसको रिजुनेट करता है। वाटर इज क्लाइमेट एंड क्लाइमेट इज वाटर। सो थैंक यू वेरी मच, और आप सबको खूब धन्यवाद। खूब अच्छा लगा आप सबसे मिलके, आनंद हुआ कि मैं आज की शाम वाकई माया नगरी मुंबई के मायावी समाज के बीच खड़ा हूं। जय हिंद।
राजेंद्र सिंह जी, आप तो माया नगरी के वासियों से मिले, लेकिन ज़े नसीब हमारी कि हम आपसे मिले। He most definitely has stolen our breath, our hearts and minds, and I can sense that all of you, like me, support all that him and the brave and visionary Earth Defenders that we have met this evening. As this evening comes to an end, ladies and gentlemen, our work for the future begins with renewed vigor. A big, big thank you goes to the NCPA for collaborating with us and supporting us for more than 20 years. This theatre is synonymous with the Sanctuary Awards, for sure. A big, big hand to the NCPA. Thank you. So let's now see our defenders of the wild together. I'd now like to request all of our brave hearts to join us on stage so we can applaud their purpose. Now is when all of you get your cameras out and capture the moment to share thoughts and impressions of this marvelous evening with the world. Could I have all the awardees on stage, please? Once again, thank you so much, NCPA, for this wonderful space and for collaborating with us. Can we have all of the winners on stage, please? Bittu, could we have you on stage as well? Bittu Sahgal. We all know him, we all love him. Without him, the awards, what are they? Bittu Sahgal, please join us on stage.
बतला रही ये ज़मीन तेरी और मेरी भी बरियारा ना कुछ तेरा और ना मेरा.
Ladies and gentlemen, please Do join our awardees and the sanctuary team in the splendid upper and lower lobbies for cocktails and conversations. Cheers. Good night. Peace on earth.
जितने जंगल है इनसे ही कल है यार घर को ना आज कर सहे जा कल